right, next up, John DANTZLER, the CEO of Torch and Crown Brewing. Come on up. Good to see you again. You too. How are you? You can use any one of these mics.
All right.
Your timer's right here.
All right. How's everyone doing today? Yeah, all right. I'm excited to be up here to tell you guys about Torch and Crown Brewing Company, which will be the only craft brewery in Manhattan. Joe and I have been best friends since we were 8 and brewing together since we were 16, right after we both got our fake IDs confiscated by the same bouncer at a bar right here in Manhattan. And since we could no longer buy beer, we decided we'd make it. So we set up a little homebrew kit on my mom's stove, and she came home and walked in right when the boil was exploding all over her walls. We both got grounded that day, and even worse, the beer was terrible. But we discovered a passion, and we kept at it. And soon after that, we decided to one day open our own shop. So we got to work. Joe studied chemistry and became a brewer, first in Oregon out at Rogue, and then at Kane down in South Jersey, where he actually won a World Beer Cup gold medal. Meanwhile, I went the finance route and focused on the business side of things. We just closed our capital raise and signed a lease right in the village. And to celebrate, I threw away all my dress shirts. So we want Torch and Crown to embody the spirit of our great city. And what that means to us is the raw energy, the ambition, the passion that's unique, felt here and nowhere else. And it's that very energy that we've poured into creating Torch and Crown. What we love about our great city is that it's filled with people from all over the world who have come here to make it, regardless of their craft. And that's the inspiration behind our name. Historically, people coming to chase the American dream were greeted by two images, the torch and the crown of the Statue of Liberty. Sorry, I'm behind on the slides here. And with the rhetoric going on in Washington right now, we think it's important to celebrate that history now more than ever. We want to represent the ambitious New Yorker, the young, creative person who appreciates quality and authenticity, and who wants to interact with brands that they themselves feel a connection to. Here, that person enjoys Manhattan's unparalleled restaurant scene and has a discerning palate, but that palate isn't limited to or even overly focused on beer. In short, we want to branch out beyond the traditional beer geek, the stereotypical beer geek in our community. Basically, we're taking the small community brewery model and putting it right in the center of the largest and most densely populated community we can imagine. Look, we've talked today about how many brands, how many SKUs there are on the shelves. No one needs just another brand on the shelf. That's especially true in Manhattan, where people are used to having access to the best of everything, really from across the world. What we're looking to do is to create scalable, personal connections with our consumers. And that means focusing on the direct-to-consumer side of things. Through sales from our tap room for both on and off-premise consumption, as well as farmers markets and special events within our area. To expand, then, we want to install more locations within New York City and state and improve our reach in those neighborhoods and our delivery service within those neighborhoods to both homes and offices. Now, notice I did not say national or even regional distribution. We love our community, and we're 100% focused on building that personal connection. Now, lastly, to talk a bit about the beers. Our core offerings are meant to be approachable styles and contain include our flagship IPA, our Tenement IPA. Rotationals gives Joe a little medium to be creative. I'm gonna get buzzed here. All right. So what you're drinking today is the Tenement IPA, which is our flagship.
All right, hold on to that. Good stuff. All right. I hope you didn't throw away all your dress shirts, really, did you?
That may have been a lie.
Okay, great. Tom, we haven't started with you. What's your take on the liquid?
Just from an appearance standpoint, it has great head retention and foam stability. It's got a really naked malt canvas, which I really like for that New England style. It's polarizing. My question is how does that differentiate from anything else in New England? And that's the core question I have about it. Is it a trend? Is it a thing? I think it is. But at the end of the day, how do you really push off and make yourself unique amongst everybody else in that category? But for the style, it's got amazing ascorbic qualities. It's got lots of stone fruit, lots of apricot. Well done. I mean, it's well made.
Great, thank you.
Good stuff. Darren?
I thought it was interesting how you told the story about the IDs. I thought this was going to be John and Joe's beer, which I almost want. Like the Torch and Crown, I get how you go to Manhattan and you did a whole branding exercise, and this is what we stand for. But I kind of want a picture of your fake IDs on a can. I want the beers' names to be like confiscated and like, John and Joe's beer. Because I think that, listen, we're in the beer business, and Torch and Crown to me sounds like a private equity firm. I kind of want John and Joe's beer, and I might pick that up. I don't know, just without the taste of the beer, and I actually did enjoy the beer, I don't know if I'm picking up anything with that logo, if it's just going to be a choice of logos, but if it was like John and Joe's beer and you told the story on the back, I might pick it up and give you a try over what you have here.
Yeah. Awesome, thank you. Well, and I guess to address that, we're looking to have already created that personal connection through, hopefully when you see us on the shelf, you've already visited our tap room, you've already interacted with us, outside of that. And
I just think you can't count on that because it takes a really long time to develop a relationship with enough people that the business can be good. So I think that, everything that you can do to kind of, at any touch point, make people feel good. I don't know if Torch and Crown makes people feel good or happy, and I think there's the guys that have started from scratch and have had that happy and fun feeling, I think all else being equal, gives you a better chance to win on a, even if it's not going to be on a shelf. I know you're talking about more on premise, I still think.
Yeah. Adam, Torch and Crown is based in Manhattan. What are the opportunities there? Or challenges?
Yeah. New York's a tough market. I mean,
absolutely.
I totally get what you're playing on, and I just, for me, just thinking about like on an operational end, I mean, just the cost of doing business here. I mean, with the tap room or a facility, whatever you do, I mean, just that alone, I mean, is a huge struggle, right? That's why there is no brewery here, right?
That's right.
I mean,
among other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it feels a little forced. Like, here's our presentation. This is what we're going to do here. And in a good, I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I think.
You just are a jerk.
I know. Yeah. Natural asshole.
Don't have to try.
Just add alcohol. I think there's something that can be, you can make this more rounded. If that makes sense. A little bit softer. I mean, I get the New York appeal, but New York's also a big heart, right?
I mean, adding to that, there's the operational challenges too of logistically trying to bring in grain, get spent grain out the door, manage BODs and wastewater, and then you've got all those additional complexities, which you do have as density of population and convenience. So hopefully that does pan out in your favor. But just as an operations guy, yeah, I find that challenging.
Oh, absolutely, it will be challenging. But as you said, the upside's there as well. So that's obviously our gamble.
Yeah, Carmen, a lot of talk, a lot of comments about the branding and marketing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think there's so much I love the story about you getting rid of all your shirts. Good, that's awesome. I love that you have humility and called yourself a douchebag before this. That's great. I'm happy that you're evolving. And
appreciate that. It took a while. Still haven't lost the sport code, but steps.
This is nice though. But y'all have seen that hipster meme with name and name, and I think I'll echo what Darren said earlier. Like, there's a really cool story to tell in you blowing shit up in your mom's kitchen and breaking some rules. So I think Manhattan would be accepting of that, and it would be really true to who you are.
Yeah. Johnny, you get the last word.
I would say, I mean, I really enjoyed that beer, actually. Are you using a unique yeast or anything in that? Or
It's a proprietary yeast, yeah.
That's the only thing I guess I'd say is I really enjoy that, but I'd say on a scale of approachability of IPAs, that would not be super approachable to me if that's what you're going for a flagship.
Okay.
All right, John. Well done. Thanks so much.
And by the way, the TTB had a problem with us putting fake IDs on the label.
Oh, right.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you.